I'm Mr. Richard Catt. Our cameraman, Mr. Jim Beckstrom, and I teach 6th grade at Franklin Elementary School in Ludington, Michigan. KIDS News 6 was written, edited, and produced by the Franklin 6th grade students. Although the stories are not in sequence, all occurred in the 1988-89 school year. We hope you enjoy our production. Presenting NBC KIDS News 6.
Good evening, I'm Heather Walker. And I'm Keely Donnelly with the news for today, 1988 and 89. In our lead story, tragedy struck a schoolyard today as a gunman assaulted children at play in Stockton, California. Child Onyx reports.
On January 30th, Patrick Purdy, 24, pulled up behind the Cleveland Elementary School in Stockton. Purdy blew up his car with a gasoline-filled beer bottle as a distraction for anyone who was around. During the confusion, Purdy walked into the school playground during recess and randomly began firing his Chinese-made AK-47 assault rifle at the 450 students. After firing about 75 rounds, he pulled out a 9mm pistol and shot himself in the head. After the 4-minute assault, 5 children lie dead, 30 others, and 1 teacher wounded. Newsman Chad Embody is with Police Captain Dennis Perry.
Captain, do you have any ideas why Patrick Purdy would shoot into a group of children?
Acquaintances say he had been depressed because the number of jobs he seeked had been given to Vietnamese immigrants. He was an alcoholic and had been convicted of other crimes. He just seemed to be mad at the world.
What is now going to happen to the children that survived?
Psychologists and counselors are going to help them deal with the tragedy.
Thank you, Captain Perry. Chad Embody, NBC News, Stockton, California.
The elections are over and the American voters have spoken. The 41st President of the United States of America is George Herbert Walker Bush. The popular vote showed President Bush narrowly defeating Michael Dukakis 54% to 46%.
One of the most memorable moments was during the vice presidential debate in New Orleans, when Mr. Dan Quayle, Republican candidate, compared himself to an American hero.
I'm young. I'm smart. I have the same hair. I feel like another John F. Kennedy.
Mr. Lloyd Benson responded,
I knew John F. Kennedy, and Mr. Quayle, you are no John F. Kennedy.
This debate seemed to give the Democrats a big boost, but Mr. Bush responded with his campaign promises.
I will lower the debt and read my lips. No new taxes.
Bush,
Bush, Quayle, 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 Bush, Quayle.
With the campaign, Sean Morrissey, NBC News.
trial of 45-year-old Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North will continue as soon as the proper jury can be found. The first jurors listed intently to testimony that ex-Marine had lied to congressional committees and less on a presidential inquiry led by Attorney General Edwin Meese III. They have also heard that he had altered, destroyed, and removed piles of documents from the buried secrets of the Iran contract that began to surface in November 1986. Now we go to Jennifer Hollander.
Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North was the fall guy. He was supposed to make plausible not only the president, but also 2 national security advisors. Because North was a Marine officer and President Reagan was his commander-in-chief, North could have reasonably believed he had held an obligation to follow the president's orders unless they were plainly illegal. Edwin Meese, under oath, stated that the only reason for the prosecution was to keep the president from being impeached. As a witness for the prosecution at the Iran-Contra cover-up, Meese provided testimony that had proved North had lied about a National Security Council plan to divert $12 million from U.S. sales of weapons to Iran to the Nicaraguan rebels. Here's Katie Zimmerman with Attorney General Edwin Meese.
Mr. Meese, could you tell us more about the Oliver North trial?
The trial right now contains no proof that defendant North had ever received an authorization from Reagan to engage in the alleged illegal conduct, either directly or indirectly, orally or in written. It has long been clear that the decision to offer North and others limited immunity in exchange for the testimony to the congressional committees would hamper such questionable investigations.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney General. Earlier, North's longtime friend and former deputy at the NSC testified that while Meade's investigators stopped searching North's office to take a lunch break, North entered the room, grabbed a stack of papers, and left to destroy documents that should have been found but were not. Earl said that North had told him, "It is time for Ollie to become a scapegoat." When Meade told Earl that North had been fired, Earl said, "I was very shocked and depressed by it. It is unfair to identify Colonel North for the effort that has gone wrong. He had been identified as a scapegoat." Meade had nothing to say about this. We asked Colonel North to tell us his side of the story.
I sent Reagan and Bush a pair of unwelcome New Year's Eve presents, demanding my old friends to testify in my upcoming Iran-Contra scandal. A Bush spokesman said that for the president to testify in court is simply improper.
North's fiery defense for everything from shredding documents to misleading Congress turned the tide of last year's Iran-Contra hearing, winning over thousands of Americans with the studying of Ali Mania. Gone today are the comprehensive books, T-shirts, Ali doll, but Ali is still selling. This is Katie Zimmerman reporting at the federal courthouse in Washington, D.C.
Eastern Airlines machinists and pilots are on strike. The machinists started the strike last year.
Reporting for NBC News, this is Julie Lear, and I'm David Graham. Life has never been easy for Eastern Airlines. In the 1950s and 1960s, Eastern was slow to take on jet aircraft, says Phil Biggs, former Eastern president. This caused Eastern to operate at a disadvantage. In the 1970s, Eastern executives threatened bankruptcy, and then again in the 1980s, even before Frank Lorenzo's Texas Air acquired the company. Frank Lorenzo now owns the largest airline holding company in the non-communist world, Texas Air, a network including New York Air, Continental, and now Eastern. Even though Eastern's employees have offered many concessions to keep the airline in the air, reducing their insurance and taking large pay cuts, they are dissatisfied with the counter-offers of Mr. Lorenzo. Workers have refused to work and Frank Lorenzo still owns the airline. Rumors have that potential buyers are former baseball commissioner and Olympic organizer Peter Newbrough, real estate tycoon, and multi-millionaire Donald Trump. Now Texas Air's Frank Lorenzo, NBC News, and Matt Cole.
Mr. Lorenzo, you plan on buying any more airlines? I don't intend to, but I may. There have been rumors that you've been getting involved with union decisions. Is that true? I've never been involved with airline unions, and I don't intend to start now. Rumors have it that Carl Icahn saved you from a large loss by grabbing TWA. Is that true? No comment. Matt Cole, NBC News.
In the summer months of 1988, Yellowstone National Park was ablaze in 10 enormous fires. We now take you to Allison Gutierrez in Yellowstone National Park in Wyoming.
With me is Robert Burke,
520,000 of the park's 2.2 million acres have been burned.
Thank you, Mr. Barbie. We now take you to...
Thank you, Allison. I'm standing here with James Peterson, the head firefighter. Mr. Peterson, how many of you are fighting the blazes? I figure about 1,600 firefighters. We are trying to keep large blazes under control, and we're trying to keep new ones from starting. Thank you, Mr. Peterson. Jeannie Durant is in one of the campgrounds and is still safe. Thank you, Matt. I'm standing with Elisa Wilcox of the Greater Yellowstone Coalition. What do you have to say about the fire?
It's part of the living ecosystem that's wildly under control.
So you're saying that it helps the park?
Yes, that is correct.
Yellowstone National Park.
At 11:41, December 5th, 1988, an earthquake in Armenia occurred when two plates of bedrock rubbing together slipped to shake the ground. The earthquake, a relatively modest 6.9 on the Richter scale, only lasted minutes. Afterwards, whole villages had disappeared. The epicenter, Armenia, the catastrophe struck in late morning when children were working in classrooms and workers in factories were on assembly lines. There were 500,000 homeless, 130,000 casualties, and 50,000 dead. 3 other cities were damaged. 70% of the 20,000 in Spitka lie dead in the ruins. Survivors pulled 7,000 out of the rubble. A few were alive, but most died instantly. Coffins lined every street corner. In other cities, Lenikin and Kravakin and many small villages were destroyed, and 21,775 dead were pulled from the rubble. 67 countries sent help, including 2,000 rescue workers, 100 planes loaded with earth-moving equipment, medicine, medical equipment, tents, food, and clothing. NBC Newsman Steve Papaski is in Spitka.
Good afternoon. This is Steve Papaski in Spitka, Armenia, with the Health Administrator of Public Safety, Ivan Nicholson. Sir, what kind of buildings were destroyed?
Schools, factories, hospitals, and apartment buildings.
About how long will it take to clean up Armenia?
About 2 years.
Has the U.S. helped?
Yes, they did. The Armenian population in the U.S. raised.
Today, February 6th, the top story is the execution of Theodore Bundy in Stark, Florida. Ted Bundy, a relentless and brutal killer of 20, possibly 40 young women, was executed this morning. The murders occurred between 1973 and 1976. Bundy had been on death row for 10 years.
Over 1,000 people have gathered for the execution of mass murderer Ted Bundy. Leon Betteridge is one of the farewell bunches.
Bundy has killed many young women, including a 12-year-old child. Years when he first committed a crime.
Bundy was sentenced to die in 1978. We go now to Tiny Sample in Tacoma, Washington, with Louise Bundy, Ted Bundy's mother.
I'm here with Louise Bundy, Ted Bundy's mother, in Tacoma, Washington. Miss Bundy, your son has been executed this morning. I know it must be difficult for you, but would you comment? He always was a precious son to me. I know what he did was wrong. But killing him was just as wrong as what he did to the young man. Can you express your feelings at this moment? Thank you, Mrs. Bundy.
Bundy's last-minute confessions may have helped him to clear his conscience. From Chile, fresh foods and fresh questions are delivered.
For 5 anxious days, Chile's vital $1 billion food export industry and literally billions of grapes, melons, peaches, pears, plums, nectarines, and raspberries were held hostage by a Spanish-speaking caller and 2 tiny red bricks laced with traces of cyanide. It is miraculous that FDA inspectors located the 2 tiny grapes among the millions of creative fruit arriving from Chile. They won't guarantee the safety of every piece of produce, so FDA Commissioner Frank Young urged retailers and consumers to watch for discoloration, puncture marks, softening, or a telltale burnt almond odor that cyanide emits. Many retailers are taking Chilean fruit off the shelves. To be on the safe side, don't buy Chilean fruit. This is Jennifer Hollinger and Katie Zimmerman reporting at the Farmers Market in Santiago, Chile.
When you go to the store, pick up fine foods because fruit should have the nutrition your body needs without cyanide, and with fine foods it does. If you're from Michigan, California, Indiana, and Ohio, but no food. On December 21st, 1988, Pan Am Flight 103 exploded over Lockerbie, Scotland at 2:15 p.m. The jet exploded, then crashed, killing 259 passengers and crew members. It killed people on the ground and literally destroyed over half the town. NBC reporter Jennifer Hollinger is with Betty McDougall and Karen McDonald, residents of Lockerbie.
Good afternoon. This is Jennifer Hollinger with NBC News. I am speaking with Betty McDougall and Karen McDonald. What do you recall of the crash on December 21st?
Well, there was an ear-splitting noise and I ran to the window. The plane looked like a giant fireball.
Do you know of anyone who is missing?
Yes, we think our friend is. We have not heard from her, but we are praying that she's alive.
Are the authorities letting other people around the crash site?
No, I don't think so.
Can either of you tell me any more other information you might have?
Well, all we know is that it was awful. I don't see how this could happen to us. God bless the souls who died on that plane.
Thank you. Jennifer Hollinger, NBC News, Lockerbie, Scotland.
The flight first took off from Frankfurt, West Germany, with a change of planes at London's Heathrow Airport and then headed for New York and finally Detroit. Authorities are still looking for the answers to this case and now hope to unravel the mystery. Now we have an on-the-spot reporter, Erin Quantz, who is with an authority at Scotland Yard. Erin?
Good afternoon. I'm Erin Quantz, and beside me is Tricia Gillis, a U.S. airline authority in Scotland Yard. What do you think caused this jumbo jet to crash?
There are a number of possibilities, but we're fairly certain it was a bomb.
Do you have any idea who could have done this?
We're not certain. We have many suspicions. Abu Nidal, Ahmed Jibril, the pro-Iranians, or the May 15th group were all suspects.
Do you have any motives why any of these groups would do this?
My guess is the U.S. ship shooting down the Iranian Airbus in the Persian Gulf earlier this year.
We have heard rumors about looters. What are you doing to keep them from taking people's personal belongings?
We've roped off the area and have security guards on watch.
Thank you, Tricia.
Thank you.
This was Erin Quantz from Scotland Yard for NBC News.
On September 10th, Hurricane Gilbert went through the Gulf of Mexico, devastating Jamaica and Puerto Rico. Gilbert's maximum force was in Category 5. The storm's maximum winds were 218 miles per hour and had a storm surge that raised the sea by 20 feet. The storm lasted about a week. Its turbulent spiral measured 500 miles across, but it was so tightly wound that it...
What time did you get when you found out a hurricane was heading towards Jamaica?
We heard the bell that was hooked to a barometer.
After the bell went off, what did you do?
We went to evacuate almost all the people, but some of them decided to wait.
How did you evacuate most of the people?
We rode around in our squad vehicles and we picked up the elderly people and told the rest to hurry on to the shelter before the hurricane hit us.
Thank you, Officer Becker. Now we go to Heather Hodges in another part of Jamaica. This is Andrea Johnson for NBC News.
This is Heather Hodges reporting for NBC News. I'm here with Tanya Gorham, a survivor from the storm. Why did you wait out the storm?
By the time the storm hit, I figured it was too late to go to the shelter.
Were you scared?
Yes, terrified.
Did you go to your house after the hurricane?
Yes, I did. It was terrible. The roof was blown off, there was no doors or windows, nothing was left at all.
Salman Rushdie's novel, Satanic Verses, is being pulled off the bookshelves all over the world. The spiritual leader of Iran, Ayatollah Khomeini, has said that Rushdie's book is an insult to the Muslim religion and that the author is questioning the validity of Muhammad's teaching. Muslims think that they should seek out and kill Rushdie for his unforgivable sins against their religion. Khomeini will reward with $5 million the person who kills Salman Rushdie and brings him his head. Iran's Ali Khomeini said Rushdie might be pardoned if he admits that he has made a blunder and apologizes to the Muslims. Rushdie has been hiding out somewhere in Britain. Meanwhile, Satanic Verses has become a bestseller. Rushdie's publishers closed the New York office due to several bomb threats when some of his European publishers stopped their plans to bring out the book. Jennifer Nielsen is in New York.
This is Jennifer Nielsen reporting for NBC News in New York with Misty Jabraki, owner of the Bookshelf Bookstore. Ms. Jabraki, why are you pulling Satanic Verses out of the bookshelves?
Because of so many bomb threats, we don't want to jeopardize the safety of our customers and employees.
Do you think Rusty will die?
I fear for his life. I think Muslims have enough nerve to kill him. They feel extremely insulted, and with the reward...
Mrs. Naomi Ferris is an executive book publisher. Miss Ferris, are you still publishing satanic verses?
Yes, we're still publishing satanic verses. Although we are frightened of the bomb threats, we can't stop publishing the book. We can't allow fear to stop the freedom of speech guaranteed by the Constitution.
This is Jennifer Nielsen reporting for NBC News in New York. Thank you.
In Britain, the Muslims have been saying that Rushdie's whole family should be chopped up into little pieces. Then they should be sent to all Islamic countries as a warning to those who insult their religion. Khomeini has said that Rushdie should be killed within the next month.
Athletes throughout the world spent the year preparing for the 24th Olympiad in Seoul, Korea. 3 of this year's most prominent figures are Florence Griffith Joyner, Ben Johnson, and Jackie Joyner Kersee. And now we go to Chris Dibbets in Seoul, Korea.
At the Olympic trials in Indianapolis, Florence Griffith Joyner shattered a world record with a 10.49 in the 100-meter dash. She also ran a 21.34 in the 200-meter dash. After the Olympic trials, Florence and her husband, triple jumper Al Joyner, went to Europe to train. Florence bruised her Achilles tendon when Al's baggage got thrown in and was almost put out of the Olympics. In the Olympic trials, Florence couldn't wear her trademark. She had to wear the Olympic uniform, but still she won three gold and 1 silver medals. Jackie Joyner Kersee shattered a world record in heptathlon with 7,215 points in a competition of 7 events. She also shattered another world record in the Olympics with a 23-foot, 10 1/4 inch long jump. And now we go to John Stoll for the men's side of the Olympics.
On September 27, 4 hours after the men's 100-meter dash, urine samples were taken from the top 4 finishers and delivered to the Olympic Doping Control Center. Doctors found a dangerous anabolic steroid in one of the samples. Ben Johnson was guilty of using steroids. Ben Johnson got stripped of his gold medal and was awarded to Carl Lewis. Ben Johnson refused to speak publicly. Johnson refused. Later, reporters overheard Johnson and his manager talking about the different steroids Johnson had been taking and how they could fool other tests and so on. Many of the reporters stated that Johnson knew the steroids. Many reporters stated that people who worked around Johnson knew the steroids he was taking. Johnson's manager was overheard saying that one of Johnson's corporate sponsors would give $1 million to anyone who could help Johnson get over his injury and back on track for Seoul. Later reporters also stated that Johnson knew the steroids was taking and wanted to get off the Olympics were over. John Stoll, NBC Sports, Seoul, Korea.
From Seattle, Zach Fee reports on the NCAA basketball championships.
In the NCAA basketball final, Michigan defeated Seton Hall in overtime 80-79. Ruben Robinson of Michigan and John Norton of Seton Hall were the players of the game. Glenn Rice of Michigan was voted MVP of the tournament. Michigan also became the first team to win the Rose Bowl and the NCAA basketball championship in the same year. Michigan's win was especially notable due to a coaching change prior to the tournament. Michigan's Bill Frieder was offered the coaching position at Arizona State. Frieder accepted the offer, but still wanted to coach Michigan for the rest of the tournament. Athletic Director Bo Schembechler refused and appointed Steve Fisher, assistant coach, to the interim coaching position. 1 week after Michigan won the championship, Steve Fisher was hired as Michigan's head basketball coach.
State bowl games this year, UCLA beat Arkansas 17-3 in the Cotton Bowl. Florida State beat Auburn 13-7 in the Sugar Bowl, and Miami beat Nebraska in the Orange Bowl. In the Rose Bowl, Michigan beat USC 22-14. In the Fiesta Bowl, number 1 Notre Dame beat number 2 West Virginia 34-21. Tony Rice, the quarterback for Notre Dame, was the MVP. Then the Irish were then voted national champions. Last spring, NBA champions Detroit Pistons Last spring, NBA champions the LA Lakers beat the Detroit Pistons 4-3. James Worthy was the MVP. San Francisco 49ers defeated the Cincinnati Bengals 2016 in Super Bowl 24. Jerry Rice caught 11 passes and was voted the game's MVP. 5 games, the Dodgers clinched the World Series. 4 games.
Doctors, scientists, coaches, and parents are alarmed by the dramatic increase in steroid use in our country. Brent Harwood is with a team of experts discussing the issue.
In 1988 Olympics, officials started testing competitors for steroids use. Steroids are used to build muscles. One noted example, Ben Johnson was ousted from the events after he tested positive for steroids. Because of his dismissal, Carl Lewis received the gold medal in the 100-meter dash. Officials are using these tests in almost all sports in an attempt to crack down on its illegal use. There have been many athletes in various sports banned for illegal use of steroids. Scott Kinney is a doctor of pharmacy and he has studied the effects of steroids use. Scientists have found steroids can have very serious side effects. Scientists have proven when taken they can cause mood changes, hair loss, birth defects, and damage to major internal organs. Women who take them may develop chest hair, while men may experience breast enlargement. Jared Briggs has done extensive research into the history and effects of drug use in sports in preparation for a book he is writing. These drugs were first developed by the Russians to strengthen their army. These drugs could not only kill a person, but they're also illegal. Steroids are chemical compounds used in chemistry, biology, and medicine. They are produced naturally by plants and animals. They are made synthetically. All steroids are the same basic compound. Because of this, they have different effects on different other things. Also, different people have different reactions to the same steroid. Steroids influence body metabolism, the process by which the body changes food into energy and living tissue. The side history of these drugs is influencing younger children. They have seen steroids used in movies such as Rocky IV. Children look up to sports figures as role models. And when they see them using steroids to accomplish great feats, they feel it is an advantage to use them. When steroids are used and not stopped, they can endanger society and the individual taking them.
3 California gray whales were discovered by Roy Agnegat on October 7, 1988 in the waters near Point Barrow, Alaska. The whales apparently delayed their migration south from the Arctic Ocean to the warmer waters of Mexico. An early freeze caged them in a frozen lagoon, nearly 4 miles from open waters. Needing to breathe every 4 minutes, they crowded around the only hole they could find. Greg Farron and brother-in-law Rick Slesiak brought a Casco Marine bubbling dicer. Also, many Eskimo whalers worked night and day with chainsaws and chisels to chip away the ice. October 15th, the last mountain of ice was plowed through. The remaining 2 whales swam out the slush-filled channel. The smallest bone had disappeared under the ice and was presumed dead. We now go to Jill Asherhaug in Point Barrow, Alaska.
I'm Jill Asherhaug at Point Barrow, Alaska. With me is Roy Amagak. Mr. Amagak, what kind of tools helped to break the ice? Chainsaws and chisels helped to small them out, but the machine that helped most was the Casco Marine bubbling deicer. When you first spotted the whales, did you expect this? Animals die in the wilderness every day. I thought if we could have freed them quickly, we should try. This all took time, money, and manpower. I'm not sure if it's all worth it now. Thank you, Mr. Almaguer. We now go to Caroline Worth in the Point Barrow Public Schools.
This is Caroline Barth in Point Barrow Public Schools. I am speaking to Patsy Nisingya Amhad. Miss Nisingya Amhad, you disagree with these efforts to save the whales?
Yes, I do. This past October, 3 of my cousins were killed in a house fire. Where's our sympathy? Our people are saying, what's so special about these whales? What's the big deal?
Many people across America are asking why millions of dollars to save these whales with so many homeless and starving people in our own streets. This is Caroline Barth for NBC News. And that's the news for today, 1988 and 89. I'm Keely Donnelly.
And I'm Heather Walker. Good night from NBC News.
I'm Jim Beckstrom, 6th grade teacher at Franklin Elementary School. Each student from the 6th grade class of 88-89 will present an event from this school year. They will also give a prediction for 1995, which is the year that they will graduate.
This year basketball team I was on, we won the freestyle championship, and I joined the rec sim team, and our dad, Jimmy Pittman, died. And from 6 years from now, I think there'll be a cure for cancer and AIDS, and that Michigan will be more popular.
And what is your name?
Caroline Bach.
Thank you.
I'm Monica Bedford. The thing that I'll remember is the sub-sales that we had to get up before 7 and stay till 1. And in 6 years, I think that the world will recycle more things than they do now, and the ozone layer will not disappear. Hi, I'm Liam Beveridge. This year, the thing from this year I'll remember is taping this news program. I think in 6 years that Ludington won't be as populated, and that it still will be a tourist town, but not as much. And I also think that the ozone layer the scientists will find something to replace it.
My name is Tanya Borma, and one thing that I think I'll remember is getting my braces on. And one thing that I think will happen in 6 years, I think people will become more aware of their environment and start recycling.
Hi, I'm Chad Bray. I think in 6 years from now, when I graduate, I will be thinking about going to college to be a lineman or electrician. My favorite thing to do right now is to play with electronics and ride my bike.
What I liked about 6th grade was I went to Pontiac to visit my relatives. And 6 years from now, I think the Saints and the Bears will be in the Super Bowl. I will move back to Pontiac. I will be 6 feet, 2 inches, and 210 pounds. I'm Jared Briggs.
Hi, I'm Allison Cloutier. The thing I will remember this year is we got a new van and our basketball team won first place in freestyle. And in 6 years from now, I think there will be a cure for cancer. Hi, I'm Jennifer Cole. I'll always remember this year because I moved to Leamington, Michigan. I predict that in 1985 the United States will have a cure for cancer.
Hi, I'm Jim Dewar. 1995, I'll be going to a college to study marine biology. I will have our cavalier, and I'll be in the top 10% of our class. There will be either no AIDS or a cure for AIDS. I will be 6 foot 5 inches. George Bush will still be president. Bob Barker will be dead. George Burns will be dead. The average American will live to be 110 years old. The humans will be able to go around the world in 1 second. All Europe will be Soviet. We will live on every planet.
I'm Keely Donnelly. This year, our basketball team won first place in the freestyle tournament and tied for first place in the regular league. My family got a new van and we went to Florida. In 1995, I predict they will send man to Mars and there will be a cure for cancer.
My name is Jeannie Doria, and I'll always remember this year because I got my braces on. I would like to go to Notre Dame and be an ophthalmologist. This year, our 6th grade basketball team won the freestyle tournament and tied for first for our regular league. And in the future, I think there will be a cure for AIDS.
My name is Christine Dyser, and I think that in the future cars will be a lot smaller but hold more people and have more utilities like stoves. This year I got my braces and I moved to Michigan from New York, and I weigh 68 pounds.
Hi, my name is Shannon Buddy. I remember this year because we became in 2nd place in basketball. In 6 years, I predict that I will graduate. There should be a cure for AIDS. I predict that I will be 5'11" in 6 years. I predict that I will live in Petoskey.
I'm Jim Ewing, and this year I got a dog. And in 6 years, I think there will be a cure for cancer. And this year I got braces.
I'm Zach Feet, and I'll always remember this year because I bet about 5 or 6 people that Purdue would beat their teams. The bad thing is I lost every one of them. I predict in the next 6 years that the Detroit Lions will win the Super Bowl.
Hi, I'm Naomi Ferris. This year, our OM team won first place at regional competition, and from 6 years from now, I predict there will be a cure for AIDS. My name is Christy Fitch, and the thing I'll remember is I moved here from Apache Junction, Arizona, and I predict that I'll graduate and go to college and then go to medical school and be a doctor.
Mr. Gillis, and the things I remember about this year are that I made it to the state math finals and I caught the mumps. In 6 years, I predict that I will be going to a college that has the best math program available.
Hi, I'm David Graham, and the things I'll remember about this year is the filming of this news program and our basketball team coming in 2nd place.
My predictions for 6 years is that George Bush won't be president, the Detroit Lions will finally win the Super Bowl, and Baltimore Orioles will finally win the World Series.
Hi, my name is Rob Dillner, and I will remember this year for taking first place in basketball. In 6 years, I predict that I will be living in Oregon.
I'm Brent Harwood. The thing I remember about 6th grade is that our football and basketball team got first. I predict in 6 years that the Colts will win the Super Bowl and that there will be no skateboarding allowed. Hi, I'm Heather Hodge. The thing I remember about this year is I'm planning to get my braces off. And 6 years from now, I think they'll find a cure for AIDS.
Hi, I'm Chad Holmes, and I predict that in 6 years that there'll be a cure for AIDS and that the Redskins will win another Super Bowl. And I remember this year because that our team got first place in basketball.
I'm Jennifer Hollinger, and I'll remember this year because I came to a new school from Foster. I think in 1995 that Indiana University will be the most popular school in the world.
My name is Andrea Johnson. The thing I'll remember is I got a new sister, and I predict in 1995 I will be 5 feet and 4 inches tall, and I think there will be a cure for cancer.
Hi, my name is Scott Carey. The thing I remember most from this year is that I'm going to California and to Detroit class trip. And I suspect in 6 years I'll be living in California and there'll be a cure for AIDS.
Hi, I'm Erin Knudsen, and I will always remember my friend and my teacher, and I predict that I'll be 5'7.5" in 1995, and I predict that most women will be staying home with their families rather than at work.
I'm Matt Cole, and I'll remember this year because our basketball team got first place and so did our football team. And my predictions for 1995 is that I'll have been accepted for the Air Force Academy. I'll finish in the top 10% of my class. Charles Manson will be dead. Michael Jordan will be playing professional golf. The Cleveland Indians will win the World Series 4-2. The Charlotte Hornets will win the NBA National Championship. And I'll be 5'9".
Hi, I'm Chad Lennox, and the thing I'll remember this year is our basketball team got first place, and I predict in 6 years that more and more of the jobs will be running by computers and robots.
Hi, I'm John Nicholson, and I remember this year by all the new songs that Josh Tyrell taught me, and my predictions for 1995 is that my hands won't be as dry anymore, my breath will smell much better.
I'm Jennifer Nielsen, and this year I'll always remember the Detroit trip. And in 1995, I think there will be world peace. Hi, my name is Peter Papadakos, and the thing that I remember this year is that Michigan won the NCAA championship, and 49ers won the Super Bowl, and Michigan won the Rose Bowl. And the things that I predict in 6 years is that the 49ers will win the Super Bowl, Michigan will be the #1 in every sport.
Hi, I'm Sean Pomorski. One of the most memorable moments of me this year is that I went to the Guns N' Roses concert in Mears, Michigan. And the things that I predict in 6 years is that I'll be 18 and I'll have a car.
Hi, I'm Stephen Prosky. I'll remember this year because my parents had a divorce and I moved to Traverse City. Our football, basketball, and volleyball and soccer teams all won first
twice in city tournament play. Then I moved back to Ludington. I predict that in 6 years I'll be going to Interlochen Arts Academy and I'll be getting ready to graduate and start dental school.
Hi, my name is Aaron Farns, and the thing I'll remember most about this year is my friends' reaction when they found out I was going to be moving to Grand Rapids. And also the thing I'll remember is my mom's graduation from West Shore. I predict in 6 years that I'll be graduating from high school and I'll be looking for top-notch law school.
Hi, I'm Matt Rasmussen. The thing I'll remember this year is that we won our basketball team in the school. And as what I predict in 6 years is that I'll have the best Chevrolet car in town, and I'll probably be in good health.
The thing I remember most about this year is I'm going to a Bon Jovi concert. It's my first concert ever. And in 6 years I predict that inventors will invent flying cars, most of the world will be using computers, and we'll find life on other planets. I'm Ben Reesky.
Hi, I'm Tanya Sample. The thing that I'll remember the most about this year is that I had some of the best teachers I think that I'll ever have, and I'll always remember my friends on the trip to Detroit, and I'll remember that last summer I went all the way to Kansas with my Aunt Leanie and Uncle Bill, and this is my first year to go to Florida. I predict in 6 years that the world will be based on computers. I'm Jessie Sexton. The thing I remember most about this year is my uncle died, and I predict in 6 years that there'll be a cure for leukemia.
I am Chris Stibbets, and the thing I remember the most about this year is that our basketball team took first place at Baldwin tournaments, and I predict that in 6 years that there will not be a cure for cancer.
Hi, my name is John Stowe, and this year I'll remember it because Michigan won the Rose Bowl in the NCAA basketball finals. I predict in 6 years that I will be 8 to 10 inches taller, and I don't think there will be a cure for AIDS yet.
Hi, I'm Josh Tybel, and I'll remember this year because I totaled my four-wheeler, and I predict 6 years from now I'll be 5'11", and Mr. Cat will be manager of Notre Dame.
Hi, my name is Heather Walker, and the thing I'll remember most about this year is I went to Chicago to see my aunt and uncle. And I predict that in 6 years, Ludington will be twice the size that it is now.
Hi, my name is Jeff Horn, and I remember this year I got a new puppy, and our basketball team got first place in the basketball season. And in 6 years, I predict that I'll weigh 158 pounds and be 5 feet 8 inches tall, and the ozone layer will almost be gone.
My name's Emily. I'm from Foster School. I just came here this year, and I predict in the future I'll be a typist.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Williams, and things that I'll remember from this year is that I got a new dog for Christmas, and I also got my padlock retainer. And 6 years from now, I think people will be able to buy portable jets to put in their back so they can fly around. And I will be done going to the orthodontist, and I'll have the biggest teddy bear collection in the world.
Hi, my name is Katie Zerman, and the things that I will remember from this year is that I went to Boston in October to my aunt's wedding, and that my best friend was Jennifer Hollinger, and I predict in 6 years that I won't be at the end of the list, and the school list, and that robots will become teachers, and that's it.
My name's Josh Hogue, and I think I'll remember this year the most because we're going to Detroit for a class trip. And I predict in 6 years that the ozone will not be depleted and U.S. will be farthest in space research.
Hello, my name is Bill Musil. I met this menagerie of people last year at a camp excursion, and today I'm substitute teaching. I just graduated from Grand Valley State University. And I think that the thing that I'll remember most about this year was my student teaching and how much I enjoy coming back substitute teaching in Ludington, and to see that I've got so many friends that I've made, so many friends that are kids. And some predictions that I can make about the future. Well, I kind of hope to get a full-time job next fall, not necessarily in Ludington, but probably somewhere in West Michigan. And by, is it 6 years from now? 6 years from now, hopefully I will be coaching JV or varsity soccer team, maybe. I'll have started a clown or minstrel group to minister to people's enjoyment in Christ.
Hi, I'm Misty Jabaki. I predict that in 6 years, Ludington will be a more populated town. The thing I remember about this year is all the work and effort we put into making enough money to go on our class trip to
I'm Michael Brody, and I'm enjoying my second year as principal here at Franklin. And as I look at the class of 1995, I'm going to remember you. You've been fun, you've been bright, and you have a good future. I think the thing I'll remember most about this year is the fact that this was the year that we talked about how we were going to house elementary students in the future. And this was a critical year for us in trying to generate enough money in our district to operate as we've always known it. I predict that for you in the future, you're going to enjoy a lot of the benefits of our current space program.
My name is Gene Shank. I'm a teacher at O.J. DeYoung Junior High School. What I remember about this year is Dukakis being defeated by George Bush, because I had predicted that Dukakis would win. My predictions for the next 6 years are politically, I believe, again, George Bush will be defeated in 1992. This will be my first successful prediction politically in the last 25 years. The last time I was right is when Kennedy defeated Nixon in 1962. Locally, I think the new marina is going to be finished to go with our present marina to make Ludington's marina one of the finest recreational marinas on Lake Michigan. Athletically, two very important members of the Cleveland Boosters Club here in Ludington, Mr. Horseman and myself, will be traveling to Cleveland to watch the Indians.
Hello, my name's Gus Guile, and I'm a counselor at Ludington High School, and I've been there for quite a few years, and I'll be there for a few more years to see you people enter your 9th grade year and hopefully through your senior year. We're asked to kind of make some predictions on what we might find happening in that span of time, and I'm originally from Cincinnati, Ohio. I was an old Pete Rose fan. As a matter of fact, that was the time that Sparky Anderson was the coach for Cincinnati. One of my predictions would be that Sparky Anderson won't be with the Tigers at that time. We see this tape 6 years from now. And he may be back with the National League team. We'll see if that comes to pass. I don't have too much else to say other than I hope that you people, as you go your separate ways through junior high school and high school, and come back and see this tape 6 years from now, will remember those friendships you had through the years, remember old faces, and have a nice class that is productive, and a class that will represent Langdon High School very well. Now I'm going to pick on someone in the class here. Jill Jill Ashahard. I should have that name pretty well. Jill and I are old friends. In fact, we're such old friends now. We've known each other for about 30 seconds, and I got her up here now. We kind of wonder. We know that I won't change much in 6 years. I hope not, but I think Jill might. We're going to make a prediction here. How high do you think you're going to be, Jill? You're how tall now?
I think I'm 5 foot right now.
5 foot. We think that Jill's going to be about 6'7" and be in the basketball team. I think Jill probably will come up about 5'10" or so. Jill, what did you say that you're going to do after high school? Did you have any long-range goals when you were talked to?
Well, I'm probably going to enter college and I'll be majoring in zoology.
Zoology. We'll see if that's still a major interest area for you later on. Thank you for being a good guinea pig here. I wish you well, Jill, and I wish the rest of the class well. Let's hope that she looks as cute 6 years from now as you do right now, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, hi. My name's Mike Robinson. I don't know very many of you. In fact, just one of you right now. I'm at senior high school, and I'm the assistant principal. And if I'm in that position when you come over there, if I'm still at Ludington, if you were in any kind of problem with attendance, discipline, or anything like that, probably have to speak to me. But maybe I won't be in that position. I don't know where I'll be in 6 more years. But hopefully I'll get a chance to meet you, and as you enter high school, maybe we can do some things that are really neat for you. For those people involved in athletics, we've had a lot of different changes this year in some of our programs, and we think we're going to be a real good football program here in a few years, and I think the boys will be part of that program. The girls' basketball program has been outstanding, and most of you can be involved in. All of our programs are really have improved, and we're proud of all of them. We want you to get involved. When you get in high school, we don't want to see any of you come to high school and have to worry about making it through school. We want you to come to school and enjoy it, and I think you will. Some of the things that have happened that maybe we can predict for the future will be that all of you will graduate from a high school, most of you from Ludington, and you'll probably have a chance to be part of a lot of different programs. Some of you are going to be good athletes, some of you maybe even outstanding athletes, and get your name in the paper and in the record books at Ludington High School, swimming, whatever, basketball, golf. So I want you to be involved. If I have to make a prediction, I would predict that probably 1 or 2 of you will be involved in a real positive way with maybe student government, that kind of thing. And I don't know which ones, because I don't know yet, but I hope to know all of you. Athletically, I think we're going to be a strong school. I think we're going to be a bigger school. I think Ludington's going to grow by the time you get in high school. We'll be a large Class B, maybe a small Class A high school, which will make it a little bit more difficult for you. A lot of the teachers that you have will be different, because we're going to have a lot of teachers retiring, so you're going to see a lot of new teachers in high school. Some of those that your parents have, you won't have. We'll probably have a third of our staff will be new. Probably a third or more of the administration is going to be new. So you're going to be facing some real different people at some different times. Conservatism, well, if you know what that means, I think you're going to see a lot stricter rules in high school in the next 5 years. And then by the time you get through there, I think we'll be stabilized and it'll be a pretty fair system. So I hope to meet all of you, or at least some of you, and I hope that at least you get a chance to meet me before school's out for you or for myself. So good luck, and I'll see you in, about 4 years, 3 years for some of them. So have fun.
Yes, this year I remember that my Cleveland Cavaliers did not do the job that they were supposed to do at the beginning of the year. And my Browns also left me down, as all of you know. However, my predictions about the future aren't quite as strong as Mr. Shanks. I don't think that I will be visiting the Super Bowl and seeing my Browns play, nor will I see the Indians play. There are some other things that I think I need improvement on that most of you know, and that's my jokes. I think about 6 years, I think my jokes will be better. My singing voice will probably be improved well enough that I can do a little singing for you and you can come back and listen to me. On a more serious note, as far as sports are concerned, I hope that in 6 years I'll see people very actively involved in the sport field. See you running track, playing soccer, football, whatever the case is. And I also predict that our soccer team at that point will be as strong or stronger than what we even have this year. As far as the other things, more importantly, I think when we look at the people in high school, hopefully we can look and see, yes, the drug and alcohol problems that exist are minimal and they are controlled. And I think that's one of the more important things that I am looking forward to seeing is a more controlled atmosphere in high school, and for you to realize that you can get high without the use of any false means. You can get high by listening to music or playing in a sporting event and working in that way. So that it works. But it's not Fred Rogers, it's Fred Horstman, but anyway.
My name is John Erickson, and I teach across the hall. And I'm here to make some predictions for 6 years from now, and to talk about a few things that happened this year. We had a very mild winter and a late spring. In fact, it's still kind of winter-like outside, and it's May 11th. And as far as predictions go, I have a few. Zach Fee in 6 years will win the $50 million lottery, and from there on out we'll call him Sir Zach. Mr. Beckstrom is going to win the Boston Marathon. Mr. Cat will qualify for the Olympics in kickboxing, and in 6 years I'll be 6 years older. As far as going back to this year again, the Spartans had a crummy year.
Hi, I'm Ed Harwood, and I'm the custodian here. And this year, we had a banner year for this 6th grade class. There was a championship in basketball, baseball, and football. And the prediction for this class when they're seniors is that they will be going to the Silver Bowl or Silver Dome in football. And they'll be regional champs in basketball as seniors, and that they hopefully will all be together and just have a tremendous year. I also predict the Lions will win.
Hi, I'm Mike Winchesky. I teach at Langton High School in computer science and math. Big news this year, of course, we have a new president, George Bush. We have the Ollie North trial, we have the Exxon oil spill in Atlantic waters, off Alaskan waters. Locally, we have a continued process of studying the housing of elementary students, an issue that's very close to Franklin School students and parents. I predict that when you guys are seniors, that Ludington is going to be in a new athletic conference. I'm very involved in the athletic program at Ludington High School. I coach 3 sports right now, football, wrestling, and baseball. And by then we'll have a new athletic director, and we'll be in a conference with a different group of schools.
Hi, I'm Jim Beckstrom, and I teach 6th grade here at Franklin School. And most people have made predictions about themselves, have talked about things that have gone on during this past year, and things that they think will be happening in the year 1995. Mr. Cat and I sat down and decided to make a few predictions about some of our students. So in the next few minutes, I will give you some impressions of what we feel our kids will be doing during the year 1995. We'll start out with Jennifer Williams. Jennifer, we feel, might be planning a career as a social director on a Caribbean cruise ship, which would fit right in with her personality. Zach B will be waiting for Purdue to have a good football season, and hopefully he won't have gray hair before they do. Brent Harwood, John Stowe, Chad Holmes, Jim Delaire, and Jeannie Doriat, and Chris Stibbets will still be trying to jump and touch the top of the door when they walk through it. Jim Bob Ewing, Josh Tybel will be singing stupid songs and making the sounds of lawnmowers. Allison Cloutier, Andrea Johnson, Jennifer Cole, and Aaron Knudsen will still hardly say a word in class. Keely Donnelly will be running track for her dad, complaining about sore legs. Katie Zimmerman, one of our all-time great talkers. She'll lead the LHS debate team to a state championship. The topic that was debated was never defined because Katie had the judges confused by never completing a sentence and repeating herself over and over to make things clear. When called on by a judge, she looked bewildered and said, "Who, me?" David Graham. David forgot that he was supposed to be in school his senior year. Matt and Chad Gray, they built a monster truck this year and it won mud races and car crushing contests. Monica and Christine will become great athletes. Christine will excel in gymnastics and diving. Monica is going to be a football and wrestling star. Tricia Gillis will be instructing math when the instructor gets lost. Erin Knudsen, she'll be homecoming queen that year, and she'll quietly accept her duty as queen. Ben Raske. Ben finally learned to rap and how to break dance. And halfway through his senior year, he asked his math teacher, "What is algebra? I really don't get this." Ian Fonnesbeck, in a voice that could barely be heard, will question every answer on every science and social studies test during his high school career. Jennifer Clark, well, Jennifer, she's going to sing the Star Spangled Banner for every football and basketball game. Chad Enbody and Peter, they figure out a way to graduate without doing one bit of homework. Chad Holmes and Chad Lennox, they're going to become the two tallest basketball players since Chip Scott. Chris Stibbets, he's going to be somewhat famous because during his high school career, he's going to date every girl in the senior class. Chad's a cute kid. No, not Chad. Chris. I knew I did that, right? My friend Sean Pomorski, he's going to be promoted to assistant principal because he's had so much experience with disciplinary procedures. Heather Walker will set a world record by going 4 years in a row without falling off a chair. Tanya, Jennifer Cole, Christine, Erin Knudsen, and Tanya will form a protest group and picket the high school. They're protesting the requirement that you have to participate in class. Jesse and Jennifer Hollinger talked nonstop for 1 year. Erin Quantz moved back to Ludington from Grand Rapids to graduate with her friends. Thank you.
My name is Jennifer Clark. I was absent when they were doing the filming. I predict 6 years from now that my brother Peter Clark will be in college and being a professional basketball player.
Good afternoon, I'm Mr. Rick Catt, and some of the news stories that I'm going to remember from this year. Locally, we're having a millage vote this spring to determine if we'll have a middle school. And this was the year also that a fish barrier net was installed at the pump storage project. You might remember that in the national news that the Exxon supertanker Valdez sunk off the coast of Alaska, millions of gallons of oil spilled, and the captain was accused of drunkenness and is facing charges. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, basketball's all-time leading scorer, is retiring this season after 20 years of pro basketball. I doubt if in 6 years Michael Jordan will have scored more points than he did. Also, Lucille Ball of I Love Lucy died this year. From school, you might remember some of the books that we read: Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry, Don't Hurt Laurie, Oliver Twist, and we're just finishing The Wave. Our 6th grade will be taking a class trip to Detroit, and I hope you remember that with fond memories. Some of the songs that were popular this year were Don't Worry, Be Happy by Bobby McFerrin and Kokomo by the Beach Boys. And the major movies this year were Rain Man, Big, and Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Mr. Beckstrom started with some predictions for some of our 6th graders in 6 years, and I will continue with that. Jill Oshahaug will be studying drama at the College of Charleston in South Carolina and majoring in giggle. Caroline Barth will be sure everyone's face is clean, hair is combed, and shirts are tucked in for graduation. I expect Heather Hodges will still say the funniest things, but never crack a smile. Jennifer Nielsen will still raise her hand and say, "Now I have 2 things to tell you." Leanne Bretteridge will still be telling us that her brother Brett is the world's biggest pain. I'm sure Jared Briggs will be designing computers and asking, "Do we have to show our work?" Jeff Warren will probably miss this show because he'll be on a coast-to-coast skateboard trip. Steve Poposky will be working on his senior research project, but he'll be delayed because he's used up all his erasers. Rob Dilliner and Scott Kenny will be here, but they'll be late because they were watching TV. Naomi Ferris and Misty Jabraki will be arguing because they both know what everyone else is doing. I'm sure that we'll see Josh Tybel and John Nicholson slowly walking down the hall to get a drink of water and slowly walking back, touching every poster and picture on the way. Matt Kolb will have a job that requires very little time because he'll be the statistician for the Cleveland Indians and the Michigan State Spartans. John Stowe will be signing autographs using the printer on his computer. Brent Harwood will sign his autographs, Bruno, and Jim Ewing and Jim DeLear will sign autographs, but nobody will be able to read them. Keely Donnelly, Jeannie Doria, Allison Cloutier, Heather Hodges, Leanne Betteridge, Andrea Johnson, John Nicholson, and Jim Ewing will establish the Braces, Retainer, and Headgear National Museum. Ann White will be late because she had to finish her pizza. And as Mr. Erickson said, Zach V. will win the $50 million lottery, but he'll blow it all betting on Purdue football games. Some other events that I'll remember from this school year. So I'm sure I'll remember Living Science, the videotapes of the time was, our recess basketball games. I'll still remember getting up at 6 o'clock for our sub sales in November and February. But most of all, I'm sure I'll remember this year because of the terrific group of kids that were 6th graders in 1988 and 89. Goodbye, 1989, and hello, 1996.
Hello, I'm Ian Fonisbeck, and the thing I'll remember from this year is that we're going to go to Detroit for a class trip. And in 6 years, I predict that the Tigers will have won another World Series.